Happy Friday, everyone. So this is what we're getting into today. Good old Silverado. I used some, against better judgment at the time, but it's what I had. These are just some of the fittings I'm going to be using today in the line from Motion Raceworks and all that. But against better judgment years ago, I reused some of the factory lines on this, some hose and some push lock fittings, and they've been the bane of my existence. And splitting, cracking, leaking, replacing them over and over again. And yeah, we're gonna do away with all that today and do it the right way finally. Love that old adage of why is it we always have the time and money to redo things but not the time and money to do it right the first time. Rings so true. So I've already got a little bit of a head start. I cheated here, got the truck up on jack stands and fluid draining. I took apart one of the lines so I don't have to completely swim in transmission fluid. But at any rate, this is one of the lines I tried to replace the other day and get it to stop leaking, but it just sprung another leak somewhere else. This is what I'm dealing with. This is that supposedly wonderful line for the push lock fittings and all, and it's for the most part away from the heat of the exhaust, routed away, but that's what I keep running into. That's completely unwinding in there. So I feel confident the stuff I bought from Motion Raceworks is going to be a higher quality piece, and I'm not going to have to deal with this every couple of years, because literally when I did the 4L80 swap in the lines, that was what, 2016, and it seems to be about every 2 to 2.5 years I run into this type of cracking and splitting in the hoses. So we don't need that where we're going. So I've got 2 of the lines out, one that ran from cooler to the radiator and then from radiator back to the transmission. We don't need those either. These are eventually going to have to come out and be converted to AN. I have those. Just wanted to show these. I think they're cool. I like them. You may or may not. I got these from ICT Billet. There's your part number and description. Basically, what they do, if I can get in here and see, yeah, this will click into the radiator and give me the AN on the other side to go to my line. Something they come out with recently. I thought they're a convenient kind of time saver of a little deal. So, worth the money to me. I'm gonna go with them. You may think they suck. Use what works for you, but that's what I'm going with. So this is something I wanted to touch on. I made a mistake. I ordered some fittings like these previously, but they were like that, where they threaded into the cooler. That will not work with these TruCool. See how it has that inverted flare? There's actually an end that kind of looks like that inside the cooler here. So not a huge deal. I was able to correct it, catch it in time, but they're even slightly a different thread. I don't know if the camera will kind of pick that up. The thread pitch is slightly different, so that matters as well. I wasn't really wanting to thread in previously. So there's the Russell part number to go from your TruCool 40K to -6 line. So we're back to it. I had a slight rain delay. It is Florida. I've got this line here all made up and routed under the truck and connected at both ends nice and tight. I made the other one kind of right here at this end, and then the transmission, it's got to be connected. There it is. You can see it down in there. And that silver fitting, that's one of those ones I showed earlier from ICT Billet. It's ready to go. That's where that other end of that line's going to. It just, like I said, it started pouring down rain and I wasn't in the mood for it, so I went in, had some lunch, relaxed, and now I'm going to try and get that line connected to both ends, and then I have to just make one more up from this connection to the radiator in here, and we'll be all done. I can drop the truck down, fill it back up with the fluid that come out of it, start it, check for leaks, etc., etc., make sure everything's away from the heat and the headers, and we'll be done. But it's been quite an adventure. I just wanted to give a major thank you to Levi at Motion Raceworks. I called him. I was pretty ticked off at these fittings in the line and trying to figure it out and all that, and he gave me a let me vent and calm down a little bit, and gave me an idea. He said this is the most difficult stuff to work with, because I said, you know, one on YouTube, I looked at Doug's tutorial from a year or two ago about how to what to use them for, and how to assemble them and all that, and I said he made it look so easy, and he's like, well, yeah, you know, that is the most difficult one to work with. And but at any rate, I'll show a little later when I make up the last line what I come up with, and he agreed was the way to go, and that'll be that, and I can be done with this and kind of move on to other things. I'd like to have working AC before the summer's over. All right, so I'm gonna quit babbling and go ahead and put this other line on. Okay, so we'll kind of sort of show putting a line together here. Sorry if I have to keep shutting the camera off and bouncing back and forth. I literally grabbed the camera and I forgot spare batteries, charging cable, and any of my attachments, so I can set it up on like a tripod. But basically, I take this razor blade, trim down about that far and remove it, and that'll allow me to expose the braided stainless part inside and get the like a ferrule deal, which I'll show in a minute here with the fitting. It's going to go in between that and the PTFE line. But all right, let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll bring you back and kind of show you what's going on. Okay, we're back. You can see I've trimmed away a little bit of this black oil resistant sleeve, heat sleeve type stuff here all the way around. Now comes the fittings, and of course I don't have one handy. All right, let's walk over here. One day I'll be more organized, I promise. So one of these fittings right here, like so. I'm gonna set you guys down. Enjoy the view looking into the engine bay of the El Camino. Alright, so when you take apart these fittings for PTFE, like so, I've cheated and unthreaded that one. There's an extra part. This doesn't have a taper like an AN one, and it's got this little ferrule that actually has to go between this stainless and the outer edge of that PTFE line for this all to seal and work like it should. Some are easy, some not so much. Little trusty W Dizzle. Come on. There we go. Towards the bottom of the can. That seems to help a little bit. And then we're going to see if I can do this one-handed. Possibly not. Yeah. Oop. And you're basically just trying to get this in between the two. I've even had some luck, and Doug said to try it, tapping it with a hammer. Clearly I can't do this one-handed, so I will kill the camera again, and as soon as I've got it all together, I'll show you the assembled deal. And actually, I was about to totally screw myself over. I got ahead of myself. That kind of needs to go on beforehand to make this easier. Once that's in, it wouldn't probably slide over it very easy. So, all right, give me a second to correct that, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so as you can see, that's what it looks like. It's flush. You can see the edge of the PTFE liner right in there. This fitting goes in, maybe. Yeah, this is really not fun one-handed, guys. There we go. That's seated. Then, like a traditional line, the two have to go together. It tightens down on that ferrule and clamps it all together. I'm definitely not going to be able to do this one-handed, so again, my apologies. I'm going to have to turn the camera off. So there you have completed end. It's all on. It's tight. Seals. I've got to do the other one and then get this line on the truck. So once I get that done, I will come back once again. So we're back. See, I've got the line up to here. I've made my connection on the cooler and it's good and tight. Just wanted to get back to these ICT fittings. Again, there's the part number and all. So how they work, they go into this factory cooler fitting with the one end, and the other end is -6AN. I've already jumped ahead and pre-installed one of these in it, but I like them. I just think they're a neat idea. You don't have to mess with getting a fitting for the radiator and all. If you ever want to switch back, you can. But let me see if I can get a better angle here. So literally that simple. And then I've already got my line made up, and again, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this one-handed. I'll try and see if I can set this camera up. Maybe I've got a nut or a bolt I can stick under it. Just get that angle. That's going to be too extreme. That might work. We'll see if that stays there while I do this. At any rate, there we go. That threads on like so, and we've made our connection. Gets it away from the radiator too. It's not as tight of a radius in there. I like that as well. No, I don't have a pair of or a set of them fancy AN lines. These -6 seem to work good with an 11/16 wrench. If you're wondering, there's some people I'm sure just absolutely cringing out there. Oh no, you should have the those fancy magnetic wrenches and all that. Yeah, these work just fine for me. So put a little bit more mustard on that one. All right. And side benefit, it also kind of lets it swivel around so it's not so tight where it could possibly be in a bind. But at any rate, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and fasten some of these lines. You can kind of see those two are kind of flopping around there. I need them out of the way. And of course, down back in here where they run past the cross member and everything, they need to be fastened down as well. I'll do that with some zip ties. Should be good to go. I'll refill the fluid. Like I said, I'll start it, check for leaks, and then I'll try and top off the fluid level. I'll probably get it a little bit better tomorrow, but in the meantime, once I know I have no leaks, I will put this upper panel and the grill back on. And that should be a wrap for this. Yeah, like I said today, I don't know about the weather. Doesn't look too bad now, but that's how it was earlier when I was making up that other line and routing it, and next thing I know, the sky opened up. So yeah, so I may be wrapping this up tomorrow. We'll see. Or I may just end it off and just do a short test driving it and showing that I have no leaks and I got the fluid level topped off. Either way, that's what we're gonna do. So let me get to that and we'll wrap things up. So everything's all connected, pretty well secured. I'm not happy with this. I made it a little too long, I guess. So I think I'd like to get a rubber 8L clamp and attach it to the frame here to keep it from kind of doing this flappy thing. I went to start the truck and yeah, this battery's just finally had it. I don't even know. Super start. I don't even know anything about it. I don't remember if it's an auto zone or might only be a 1-year battery. So for it to make it almost 5 years, I guess that's good. Kind of small, cold cranking amps and all that. So I think I'm going to try and get a little bit bigger that will fit here in this tray. One of my projects, eventually too, this is going over there in that spot. I want to kind of try and move the weight around a little bit and make some room over here. So at any rate, I will have to continue this tomorrow. I'll get a new battery tonight. I'll get the truck started, check for leaks in the morning, and yeah, and I can put it all back together, drive it, try and get the fluid levels where they need to be, and we'll move on to the next little project, which right now is probably to get working AC in this truck. So I'm going to pull the old compressor off. I was just going to buy compressor and dryer receiver and everything, and apparently there's different plugins, 2 or 3 different options for this year truck. So yeah, I want to match it up, get the right one, and I may even replace the condenser. I don't know. Fins seem pretty solid, but this is a 2001 and the body's got somewhere in the neighborhood of 270, 280 on the clock, so it may be time. Definitely is going to get a dryer receiver, compressor, a few other odds and ends, and get it recharged so I can have AC, because this truck, I sold my Tahoe this past Monday, and this truck's going to be full-time daily duty. It's not just going to be the occasional driver like it has been for a little while now. So time to put it back on the road full-time, and we'll just slowly peck at it here and there on my days off and get things done on it. All right, well, like I said, I'll pick up again in the morning and we'll finish this off. So it's Saturday. See, we got a new battery. Everything's looking good. I put a little extra heat shielding. No leaks. No puddles on the cardboard. We're good. Engine sounds good and healthy. Just gonna go over every little thing and take it for a ride a little bit later and beat on it a little bit to make sure it doesn't pop a transmission line off or something, and we'll get to make sure the level's right. So far so good. So we're out test driving the truck. So far so good. Really haven't made it too far out of my neighborhood yet. I just want to drive it around a little bit, get it up to temperature, and then check the transmission fluid again, see if it's low. If it is, we'll add to it. If not, we're good to go. Hopefully the wind noise doesn't get too bad here, but I'm gonna start driving a little bit. So as you can see, went fairly well. Temperature stayed good. I don't smell anything burning, etc., etc. So I think we're good to go. I'm gonna go home, check the level, and top it off if need be. But I think we're pretty much good to go. Managed to fix my power window on the passenger side, get that replaced. So next task will be the AC. All right, we're gonna end it off right here.